right, good morning, everybody. This is Dan Lyons at the National Weather Service. We'll go ahead and get started with our Monday briefing, covering the next 7 days across central North Carolina. I am a big fan of satellite imagery, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into this loop of satellite imagery I have over the past couple hours across the area. Now, it's offset a little bit. It's centered over the Ohio Valley, but I wanted to call this up here for a couple reasons. One, it's awfully cloudy at the moment west of the mountains. Two, the cloud cover that we had across North Carolina earlier this morning, that is largely dissipated. So at the moment here, as of 11:30, it's mostly sunny, if not completely sunny, across the area at the moment. But the cloud cover that you start to see near the mountains, like far western North Carolina, the western Piedmont there, it does look like some of that is starting to spill over the mountains and start to make its way toward the Triad. And I would not be surprised in the least if we start to see a lot more cloud cover develop across the area later today. So I just want to take a couple of seconds here, show you what the current satellite looks like. It doesn't look too bad now, but I would expect a lot more cloud cover to start to develop once we get into the afternoon. All right, let's jump into the routine slides here and let's talk about what's going to go on not only today, but through the end of the week into early next week. With that cloud cover today, yeah, there could be a stray sprinkle here at worst. Nothing of any real consequence, no heavy showers, no thunderstorms, nothing like that whatsoever. So really for the first half of the week, really through Thursday, it should be dry with temperatures below what they should be at this time of the year. So we should be looking at highs in the lower 60s today, maybe middle 60s by the time we get to Wednesday, upper 60s by the time we get to Thursday. So by and large, a pretty normal week for the next couple of days. However, things do change though. By the time we get to Friday, we have a series of storms that are going to be diving southward from the western Great Lakes, kind of that area that I was showing you on the satellite a minute ago. One of which is supposed to drag a cold front through the area late Friday into early Saturday. So what that means is we'll start to see some rain develop during the day Friday. There will be a cold front that moves through the area at some point late Friday into Saturday. There's some model solutions that say it'll be a little bit sooner, some that'll say it'll be a little bit slower, but at some point Friday into Saturday, there should be a cold front that moves through the area. It'll be a little breezy ahead of that front, shouldn't be too bad. There could also be a stray shower or thunderstorm with that front when it moves through the area, but we are not forecasting any severe weather or anything like that. Maybe just a band of some briefly heavier showers when that front moves through. The good news is it dries out Saturday. Yeah, there may be a stray shower during the morning hours, but by the time we get to the afternoon, Saturday, it should be dry. Sunday should be dry. Monday should be dry as well. So if we can get through Friday into Saturday, the forecast is pretty dry overall. Now, I had mentioned the potential for severe weather. Storm Prediction Center, Norman, Oklahoma, they're not highlighting any portion of North Carolina over the next 7 days. No mention of severe thunderstorms in their forecast. Consequently, the Weather Prediction Center's excessive rainfall forecast, it's hard to have excessive rainfall when you don't have any rainfall whatsoever. So we're in the clear today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. No flash flood threat there whatsoever. But let's shift gears here and let's look a little closer at Friday. You'll see our maps up here for the first 4 days. They're largely white, but you do see some darker shades of green by the time we get to Friday. Take note of what those values are, though. That's only 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch. So it's not like we're looking at significant amounts of precipitation during the day of Friday when that front comes through. It doesn't appear that it's going to be heavy rain whatsoever. It'll be a little bit of rain across the area, but nothing too significant. Somebody was asking if there is sound. I did a sound check earlier and I think it was working okay. If somebody else wants to stick a note in there and let me know if you can hear me, that would be great. Otherwise, I'll keep going here and assume that the sound is working. Let's bump ahead to the drought outlook. I just talked about, okay, good. All right, so we got some sound here, so we're okay. So yeah, bottom line, 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch. It's not going to be anything that's going to really help the drought. Last week, the drought outlook came out. Quite a bit of expansion of some of the abnormally dry D0 areas, a little bit of D1 expansion across the western part of the state. Unfortunately, I don't really think this rainfall we're going to get on Friday is going to help this much at all. Now, this outlook did not take into account any of the rainfall we got this weekend. So this is subject to change, and this may update a little bit on Thursday when it comes out. But this rainfall we have coming up later in the week, it's not really going to put a significant dent in any of the drought that we have going on. What about tropics? Tropics are usually drought busters, and there is something out there in the tropics worth watching. It's a long way away, though, and the latest outlook from the Hurricane Center has it at they've actually got it at a 70% chance of developing into a tropical depression, but all of the guidance is keeping that storm well offshore, curving back to the north and then curving back to the east. So that should not be a threat for North Carolina whatsoever. I had mentioned earlier, we're going to have this system on Friday into Saturday, and then it's going to be dry when we look at next week in the 8 to 14 day period. Looks like temperatures may be warming up just a little bit. We're not looking at, a substantial increase in temperatures, but there's a decent chance that they are going to climb above normal for where they should be at this time of year, late October. And consequently, odds are tilted slightly in favor of a drier period next week. And I've got, just for reference, the values on the bottom there, what normal is for the final week of October. Generally upper 60s across the western Piedmont, around 70 in the Triangle, and then low 70s across the Sandhills and southern coastal plain. Okay, and then wrapping up, like I said, we're going to have dry weather today through Thursday. If we get a stray sprinkle today, that would be the absolute worst of it. Expect some clouds to thicken up here later today, but that should be gone by sunset. Really no impacts with that whatsoever, and then continued dry through Thursday. Friday and Saturday are kind of the trouble days, so to speak, when there's the potential for showers to develop. It's looking increasingly likely that showers are going to occur on Friday. It's just a matter of how quickly do they come in, and then how quickly do they get out of here on Saturday. That's the big forecast challenge we're trying to deal with today. Not really anticipating much in the way of widespread severe weather with that front when it comes through. There could be a rumble or two of thunder, but no severe weather or anything like that. And then drying out from Sunday onward. And in terms of hazards across the area, we've got this table up here with these green little bars, these little indications of when hazards are forecast to occur over the course of the next 7 days. And you can see everything on there is green across the board. So not really expecting much in the way of significant severe weather or hazardous weather across the area here over the next 7 days.